right chest, sir. Just remain standing until the spine.
You'll raise your right hand, please.
You do solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give the court on the issue now pending shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Have a seat for me, please. And once you're seated, if you would please state and spell your true and correct legal name for the record.
My name is Timothy Johnson Hicks, and Timothy Johsson, Hicks, Hicks, and I go by Tim.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
You may proceed, ADA.
Thank you, Your Honor. And for the record, we have shown all exhibits to defense counsel. Tim, before you took the stand, did I show you this photograph, State's Exhibit 1?
You did.
All right, and who's in that photograph?
That's Justin, Amber, and Jacob.
Is that fair and accurate in-life photograph of Justin and Amber Hicks?
It is.
At this time, I move to tender State's Exhibit 1 into evidence.
An objection?
No, Your Honor.
State 1 is admitted.
May I publish this?
Yes.
All right, Tim, looking here at State's Exhibit 1, you said that it was Justin and Amber. Who is Justin Hicks?
Justin Hicks is my son.
What was his legal name?
Timothy Justin Hicks.
So not exactly a junior, but
Not
close.
junior. Close.
And did Timothy Justin Hicks go by Justin?
He did.
How old was he at the time of his death?
At the time of his death, he was 31.
What did he do for a living?
He was a firefighter for Cherokee County. Firefighter paramedic.
How long was he with Cherokee County Fire Department?
Before his death, about 6 years.
Did he wear any glasses or corrective lenses or anything?
He did. He wore glasses.
Did he wear them regularly or just at night?
Somewhat regular, but I think mostly for driving and reading and watching TV, things like that.
Who was Amber Hicks?
Amber's my daughter-in-law. She would be Justin's wife.
Did she go by Amber?
She did.
How old was she?
Amber was also 31.
What did she do for a living?
She was an audiology assistant at the time of her death.
Wonderful. How long were they married? Do you remember when they got married?
I believe the year they got married was 2017.
Okay. Do you remember the date?
April, maybe April 12th.
Does April 22nd sound right?
20, yeah, that sounds right.
Okay, April 22nd of 2017.
Yes, ma'am.
So if I'm doing math correctly, were they married for about 4 years at the time of their deaths?
They were.
And then here in the photo, we also have this little boy. What is his name?
The little boy is Jacob Raymond Hicks.
When is his birthday?
September 4th of 2019.
Also, prior to taking the stand, did I show you State's Exhibit 3?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did you recognize that photo?
I did.
And who's that a photo of today?
Can I see it again? I know that I
That's
saw
okay.
it. And
That's okay. State's 3.
that's Jacob.
Is this a more recent photograph?
It's not that old.
And is that a fair and accurate photo of Jacob today, one of the surviving victims in this indictment?
Yes, ma'am.
State moves to tender State's Exhibit 3 into evidence.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
State 3 is admitted.
May I publish?
Yes.
So how old is Jacob today?
Today, Jacob's 6.
Where does he primarily live?
He lives with my wife and I, Charlene.
And your wife, is that Justin's dad?
No, Justin's mom.
I mean, mom, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's
Thank you.
okay.
Yes. Okay. I want to talk to you about 5059 Verbena Drive. Do you recognize that address?
I do.
And prior to testifying, did you see a photo of that residence?
I have.
Okay. Was that State's Exhibit 2?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you recognize that photograph? Had you seen it before?
Yes, ma'am.
How had you seen it before?
I saw it by Justin and Amber, and I believe at one time or another it was probably a Facebook post, and my wife and I both, I think, were text a copy of it.
Is that a fair and accurate photograph of their residence at 5059 Verbena Drive?
Yes, ma'am.
State moves to tender State's Exhibit 2 into evidence.
Any objection? States 2 is admitted.
May I publish?
Yes.
Is this the photo we're talking about?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you recall?
She's going to show you the...
Okay. Yeah, that's correct.
And do you recall the significance of this photo or when it was taken?
If I remember correctly, the photo was taken shortly after they moved in.
Was this kind of that obligatory first new home photograph?
Yeah, kind of.
Now that address, 5059 Verbena Drive, what is the city that it's located in?
Ackworth.
Is that in Cobb County?
Yes, ma'am.
Who kind of initiated the purchase of this home?
Well, Justin and Amber both saw the home and were looking together, and when they saw this particular home, I believe Amber kind of fell in love with it, and that's kind of the house that she wanted, and so that's the one they aggressively pursued.
Were they excited when they were able to purchase this home?
A whole lot.
Was this a big deal for them?
Yeah.
Now, once they moved into this residence in September of 2021, did they decorate and furnish the house?
Yeah, they decorated and furnished it.
Did they keep it pretty clean?
Clean's not the word for it. I mean, Justin's a neat freak.
Okay. Immaculate, maybe.
Oh yeah, he didn't have a speck of dust or crumb or he's pretty. I'm not saying Amber wasn't, but I know Justin was.
Did they typically, clean up and tidy up before they went to bed at night or relax?
Yeah, typically that dishes were done, things were put away. In fact, they even, best I can remember, they prepared for the next day. Had like Justin would have his uniforms pressed or whatever and ready to go.
Diaper bag packed,
Diaper bag packed, and
What about safety measures? Did they have their house baby proofed for Jacob?
They did. Jacob's room, actually, Justin had turned the bedroom door into a two-way door, maybe like a barn door, where you could open the top or the bottom, and they'd open the top so they could see in, but Jacob couldn't get out without them knowing it. And they had a baby monitor. They had gates on the upper and lower end of the staircase. And if I remember right, they had a gate or two actually on the main level blocking something. And those gates were locking gates. I forget the kind of lock, but it was more or less a child-proof lock.
And do you know whether those child-proof locks were engaged when, typically when Justin and Amber were still awake at night, but Jacob had already gone to sleep?
If Jacob had gone to sleep and they were sitting up for a little while, the gates were most likely unlocked.
Okay. But they would secure them before
They
bed?
would secure them when they went to bed.
What about locks on, baby locks on like doors to the exterior?
They had some of those. They also had some of those little hinge things you put on cabinet doors and things like that. plugs in the sockets and outlets, and
Really made a lot of efforts to keep that house baby proof. Did they have a security system?
They did. I believe it was one called Ring. Was it Ring? That's what what I remember. I think it was a Ring. One of them at the door, cameras, and you can see it on your cell phone, kind of thing.
And do you know whether they had subscriptions where data stored for things like the footage?
I think they did. I think they had I don't know who the alarm company was, but I believe they did have some sort of, they had some sort of system where it was recorded.
I want to direct your attention to November 17th of 2021. Do you remember that day?
Unfortunately, I do.
Do you remember what Justin was doing on November 17th of 2021?
On that particular day, he was off of work. My wife and I were babysitters for Jacob while they worked. And anytime Justin was off, he kept Jacob himself. So I knew that he was off because Jacob was with him. And not sure what all they did that day. Hang on, let me gather my thoughts back.
Well, let me ask you this. So Justin and Jacob were home that day.
On the 17th, yeah, I'm trying to get the date between
That's
17 and 18,
I
right?
know. It's okay. What kind of car did Justin drive?
Justin drove a black F-150 pickup truck.
And did Amber have her own car as well?
She did. She had a Chevrolet Equinox.
And do you know on November 17th of 2021, were both of their vehicles home?
No, that particular day would have only been Justin's truck because they had gone the night before. They dropped it off at a mechanic and needed some sort of repairs, and so they had dropped it off and met up at some point and would have all been in Justin's truck.
Did anything for the time that you had contact with them on November 17th of 2021, did anything seem off to you?
Everything seemed fairly normal.
And now I want to talk to you about November 18th of 2021. Do you remember that day?
Yeah, that's where my memories mostly, that's where I'm drawn to trying to answer questions about the 17th.
Why is it that your memory is drawn there? What happened on November 18th of 2021?
My wife and I were in bed asleep. It was early in the morning. And my phone rang, and it was Amber's work, her boss from work. And she had asked if we knew where Amber was. And I told her, no, we don't know what's going on. She said she hasn't reported for work. And I'm like, okay. And it's kind of like spiritual radar went off inside me, and I knew something was wrong. I'm personally a pattern person, and I just keep up with patterns. And I knew that she should be at work. Justin would be off with Jacob. And so I immediately woke my wife up, and I told her, I said, if you're going with me, get in the van, let's go. And we drove to their house on Verbena. And we parked in the driveway, and I noticed first the garage, because that's where, when you pull in, the garage was, which we're facing. Off to the left was the sidewalk that led to the front door. I ended up going to the front door, and I was banging on it very hard. And I gradually got harder and harder because I didn't get any response. And finally, I was banging on it so hard it was actually bowing a little bit. And I didn't hear the dog bark. I didn't hear Jacob. I didn't hear anybody. And so I have prior law enforcement experience, so I did go over there armed. And I kind of jumped into law enforcement mode, and I started searching the perimeter of the house. I left the front door and I went around to the left side of the house and was walking, edging the wall all the way around, you know, quick peeks and looking. And in the backyard, they have this little breezeway kind of things, like a patio. And when I got to the corner of the house there, where that separates, I did a quick peek, and I saw that the blinds and curtains were flapping in the wind, and there's glass everywhere on the patio. I knew then there'd been some sort of forced entry. I approached the window. My intent was to go in. I approached the window, pushed the blinds back. And I looked in. The first thing I saw was a bunch of glass inside that room. That room that door and window enters would have been Jacob's playroom. And as I looked in there, I noticed there was lots of glass all on the floor. I peeked a little further and looked to the left. The left would have been their living room or den, or however you want to call it, their TV room, couch and all over there. And as I peeked in, I saw them. I saw that they weren't okay. And when I saw that, I'd already kind of got into cop mode, and I backed out because I was the only one there, other than my wife and daughter, and they wasn't going to help me clear the house. That wasn't even going to happen. So I backed out the window, and I took a low ready position. And my daughter called 911 and had my wife take the van out of the driveway, parking on the street, and I had both of them get on the opposite side of the van for cover. I didn't know if anyone was still in the house or not.
I want to stop you right there because I want to slow down just a little bit.
Okay.
Had you ever gotten a call from Amber's work before?
Never have. I have, but not on things like that. It was generally, I own a woodworking business, and they called a couple of times and want to help with some projects they're working on, but nothing out of the ordinary, like nothing that's a life-changing pattern, you know. It was all other things.
So to your knowledge, had she ever just not shown up to work?
Amber never do that. If she wasn't going, she'd call.
Prior, I know you said you just got that feeling and wanted to get in the car immediately. Did you try to call Amber?
We did. We tried to call both their phones. I had my wife, I think maybe my wife and my daughter calling them as we were driving, or as I was driving.
And were you ever able to get any response from anyone?
No response on either phone, and that just intensified the whole unction. Something's not right.
Did you try texting as well?
Maybe. I don't remember for sure, but probably.
When you say that you all jumped in the car, so who was driving?
I was driving the van, and
Who was in the front with you?
my wife would have been in the front seat and my daughter in the back.
And who's your daughter?
Ashley Hicks.
And so Ashley and Justin are brother and sister.
They are.
Who's older?
Justin would be older. And then I have a son, Michael. He would be next, and then Ashley's the baby.
So you mentioned that you have prior law enforcement experience. Where was that?
Cherokee County.
How many years?
Just right about 15 years.
And so when you originally arrived there, where did you park your vehicle or the van?
When I first pulled in, I pulled straight in the driveway beside Justin's truck.
And so your car was basically right next to him at the parking spot.
Right next to the truck in the driveway. The truck would have been to my left as I pulled in.
And when you said that you went to the front door and you were kind of pounding on the door, were your wife and Ashley next to you, or did they stay in the van?
They got out. They wasn't quite up to the door yet. They never really moved too much out of the driveway until I got to the back. And then Charlene just kind of peeked around the corner. And that's when I told her, I said, get back. Move the van up to the street. And actually, you call 911. And then both of you get on the opposite side of the van and stay down, hunker down and stay there.
Your Honor, at this time, state moves to tender states exhibits 4, 5, and 6. States exhibit 4 is the business record certificate from Cobb County 911 Communications. States exhibit 5 is the 911 audio recording of Ashley Hicks, and states exhibit 6 is the CAD report. Both the audio and CAD report are covered by the business record certificate in states 4.
Any objection to 4, 5, and 6? States 4, 5, and 6 are admitted.
And Your Honor, can we go ahead and publish states exhibit 5?
Yes.